Okay, hold on to your tea because this one isn't just another royal rumor. This is the explosion everyone's been waiting for. Angela Levin didn't just drop a story, she detonated a PR bomb that's got the royal world spinning. With one sharp, deliberate statement, the seasoned royal biographer didn't merely shade Meghan Markle, she peeled back that glossy, fairy tale wrapping that's been sold to us for years. And honey, what's under that glittering surface? A game. A royal-sized power play that may not have started with Prince Harry at all. According to Angela Levin, and she's no random gossip columnist, Meghan's original target wasn't Harry. Nope. She allegedly had her eyes on Prince William. Yep, you heard that right, William. The heir, not the spare. Can you imagine the gasps in royal circles? It's like someone dropped a lit match in a locked room filled with perfume. It's everywhere, thick and impossible to ignore. And here's what makes this story sting even more. Angela Levin isn't some wannabe insider. This woman has been walking the palace halls for decades. She's mingled with the real players long before Meghan ever knew what a Duchess title even meant. Angela claims this bombshell came directly from palace staff. Not gossip sites, not outsiders, but the people in the room. Staffers who watched, who heard, who felt something was off. They say Meghan's early behavior didn't just raise eyebrows, it raised alarms. It wasn't that she was simply ambitious. Oh no, her ambition was laser-focused on William, but not in a flirty, over-the-top way. No, it was strategic, like watching someone study a chessboard, plotting the next perfect move, every smile, every compliment, every gesture, all of it carefully measured, warmth with calculation, charm with precision. She wasn't just being friendly, she was positioning herself. And in royal circles, closeness equals influence. That's the currency. Meghan, it seems, knew that. Let's rewind a bit. Meghan Markle wasn't some wide-eyed actress stumbling her way into Buckingham Palace. By the time she started appearing around the Cambridges, she was already a professional at navigating elite circles, Hollywood parties, political galas, high-end fundraisers. She'd trained for this. She knew how to network, how to charm, how to rise. So if Angela Levin's sources are right, Meghan didn't just play the game, she mastered it. She knew exactly where William and Kate would be. She got herself invited to those events not by accident, but by design. Every move was deliberate, but here's the twist. William saw through it. Of course he did. He spent his whole life being studied, watched, photographed, analyzed. He's trained to spot opportunists from a mile away. And according to Levin, he clocked Meghan's intentions immediately. He stayed polite but distant, always the gentleman, but never too close. And guess what? Kate noticed too. Remember how Meghan once said she wanted that sisterly bond with Kate? According to Levin, that was never going to happen. Not because of class or culture, but because Kate already sensed something wasn't right. Imagine being Kate, standing beside your husband at a royal event, smiling for the cameras, while another woman studies him just a little too closely. That's not friendship brewing. That's a silent alarm bell ringing in your gut. So when William made it clear he wasn't interested, guess what happened next? Meghan pivoted fast. And that's when Harry came into the picture. A charming, wounded prince with a rebellious streak and a heart wide open. The perfect target for someone who knew how to mirror vulnerability and play the role of the understood outsider. It was perfect timing. Within weeks of their first date, it was headlines, commitment, a whirlwind romance. The cameras were rolling, the press was enchanted, and just like that, the fairy tale began. But according to Angela Levin, this wasn't destiny. It was strategy. If William was plan A, Harry became plan B. The open door when the first one closed. And poor Harry. He walked right through it, completely unaware that he might have been part of a bigger plan. The pace of their relationship wasn't just about love or passion. It was urgency, a swift move on the chessboard before anyone could question the motives. And that's exactly why this revelation is blowing up everywhere. Because if people start believing Harry wasn't Meghan's first choice, then every part of the story, the interviews, the documentaries, the memoirs, starts to look less like romance and more like marketing. And nobody likes realizing they've been sold a fantasy. But it's not just this William revelation that's rocked people. It's how it fits perfectly into Meghan's past pattern. Every relationship, every connection, every partnership she's had seems to follow a single theme: access, advancement, positioning. Way before she ever touched a royal garden or wore a tiara, she already had a pattern. Take her first marriage, for example. Trevor Engelson, not just some regular boyfriend from a coffee shop. He was a Hollywood producer, a man with influence. Their marriage may not have lasted, but it launched her into a new social stratosphere. It gave her access, the kind that opens doors faster than auditions ever could. And after the divorce, oh, the glow-up was immediate. Suddenly, Meghan was mingling with stylists, PR experts, A-listers, socialites, people whose networks stretched deep into the worlds of politics, fashion, and fame. Every new friend, every event, every opportunity seemed to push her closer to the exclusive elite circles she clearly wanted to be part of. That's why Angela Levin's claim hits so hard it doesn't feel random. It fits the puzzle. Because Meghan, it seems, doesn't just form bonds, she leverages them, each one a stepping stone to the next. And Angela didn't just make vague accusations. She said she heard it straight from palace insiders, people who noticed Meghan's sharp, deliberate focus on William. Not because he was the dreamy prince adored by millions, but because he represented something. Status, legacy, power, and that's where Kate comes into the picture in a whole new light. Remember how Meghan once portrayed Kate as cold, rigid, even unfriendly? Well, what if that wasn't just personality differences or British reserve? What if it was territorial? Kate wasn't just her sister-in-law. She was the woman who already had what Meghan allegedly wanted most: the crown in waiting, the public devotion, the man next in line. If Angela's right, then Kate wasn't just another royal in Meghan's story. She was the rival, the mirror image of everything Meghan wanted and couldn't have. Insiders say Kate saw the warning signs early and kept her distance. Meanwhile, Meghan played the lonely outsider, craving affection, misunderstood by the cold British royals. But what if that chill wasn't cruelty? What if it was self-protection? Harry has built his entire post-royal identity on being authentic, emotional, honest, the prince who speaks from the heart. The foundation of their empire, their deals, their image, their brand, depends on sincerity. Without it, everything starts to crack. Because sincerity is what sells. That's what got them the Netflix contracts, the book deals, the magazine covers. The world fell in love with the idea of two people escaping the palace to find peace and truth. But now, that image looks staged. If Angela's story sticks, and it's spreading fast, then every future interview, every public appearance, every speech about authenticity will be met with side eyes and whispers. And that's devastating for a couple built on perception, because perception is their currency. Meanwhile, behind the palace walls, insiders are watching this unfold with something that almost looks like relief. For years, they've been painted as villains, cold, unfeeling, even cruel, and they had to take it because responding publicly would only make them look worse. But now they don't need to respond. Angela Levin did it for them. And the best part? She didn't scream, she didn't dramatize, she calmly dropped receipts. She's not a YouTuber, she's a respected royal biographer. The establishment listens when she speaks. That's what makes it sting, because this isn't a random rumor floating on TikTok. It's an accusation wrapped in credibility, and Meghan's silence, her refusal to even deny it, feels like confirmation. People online are saying her silence is gasoline on the fire, and honestly, they're not wrong, because when you live your life in the public eye, silence isn't neutral. Silence speaks. It says, "You caught me, but I won't feed it." It says, "Ignore it long enough, and maybe it'll go away." But this time, it's not going away. Because Angela didn't just question Meghan's choices, she questioned her intentions. She's not saying Meghan made mistakes, she's saying Meghan planned this. That's the real bombshell. If true, it means every royal moment, every curtsy, every speech about kindness, every tearful confession wasn't spontaneous at all. It was strategy. And once people start seeing someone as calculated, every smile looks rehearsed, every gesture feels fake. Angela Levin didn't break Meghan's image. She just peeled back the curtain. The cracks were already there. The public just needed someone to point them out. And now that once magical love story, it's losing its sparkle fast. The Sussex fairy tale, the rebellious prince and his Hollywood princess defying the monarchy, is being rewritten as something colder, sharper, and infinitely sadder. Because now it looks less like destiny and more like design. The fallout is brutal. Meghan's supporters are divided. The palace is vindicated. And Harry, the boy who once walked behind his mother's coffin as the world cried for him, now looks like a man standing alone, defending a love that may never have been what he thought. Not the hero of a modern fairy tale, but a prince caught in someone else's grand design. And that's the real tragedy.